So the first question that I have is, I seen where you guys wrote the title to all the pages, but I'm having the issue where I put in, you know, what the page number is, and then I will also write in that title block, I will write in the title, but when I upload it, some of my sheets it puts those titles on, and then some it just leaves blank. It don't put the title with it. So on yours where it says title sheet, general information, life safety plan, like some of my pages have the titles, but also some of it never uploads that title.
Is your project in Pantera right now?
Yes.
Tony, are you good with me going to that project?
Yes.
You gotta think about all that stuff, man. It sucks, but
And it's the, for the one example that I looked at today, it's the Fort Pierce, Florida.
yeah.
Which
It's going to be the women's restroom shot. Yes, that one there. And then it also does not keep them in the order that I put them in there.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Well,
Um,
you're looking at something completely different than what I see on my
so
side.
another $500 utility thing.
So Derek, if you'll go to, sometimes you got to refresh your screen to get the most current information. For example, if you're building a schedule, you know, do the control F5 refresh.
Correct. Well, as you can see on this one, it says cover sheet, general note, like I put it, but like on A1, A1.1, A1. It never put in my titles on those. And all the other ones some have titles and some don't. And
Okay,
I've
well,
titled
open
all
up
the pages.
A1 right there, Candace, and see. Yeah, so that's just got the
let me
page
ask
number.
you this. Did you do, when you uploaded the drawings, did you do that grab feature, or did you physically type everything in?
I physically typed everything in.
Kelly, Lee, you got an idea?
Go to the sort, like the naming. Can't you name it again?
Like it's even showing down there where it says title optional that I never put it in there, but I wouldn't have put it on some and not others.
Try to
So
name it.
can you-
Candace, try to name A1 or A1.1 and save it and see if it takes the save from here. And see if there could be a problem with overall floor plan, and see if there could be a problem with the sheet. Because I've never had this issue.
Me either.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I can't save it from here. Hang on, overall floor plan.
Which again,
Yeah, you just go to the top right and hit save at the very top of everything.
What saved it when you did that?
Mm-hmm. That's odd.
And there's several of them there that it didn't take the title to. But also like I said earlier, and usually I put my revisions, like my narratives, I put them up at the top to where they can see those narratives. And for some reason, it puts them at the bottom. It doesn't leave them at the top. So when I resort my drawings, it does not leave them at the top. Some of my drawings does, but this one, it didn't leave them at the top. It left them at the bottom.
So you prefer to keep your narratives in the drawing feature and not in the attachments feature?
I keep them. I just started using this, so I didn't know to put it in the attachment portion of it. But I would like to keep them with the drawings too. That way, because the superintendent's not probably going to click on attachment, he's going to go straight to the drawings tab. And
Yes.
I keep my narratives in there at the top, so when he opens the drawings, he can say, "Oh, well, there's some narratives going to be in this."
So Candace,
some
go ahead and
revisions.
move those to the top of the list. And then let's save that. And then, so Derek, refresh your screen and see if it comes up in the correct order now that you're looking at those drawings on Pantera.
Let's see here. Yes, it is. It's that way now.
So it's correct now. Okay. So one of the things I've learned in Pantera is that things can look kind of strange for a minute, but if you can refresh your screen on a regular basis, and I find this to be really beneficial when you're building a schedule and you've got a bunch of tasks that you're adding, and it could be similar with the drawings that are being uploaded, to kind of get in the habit of constantly refreshing your screen so that you can be looking at the most current information.
Okay.
A lot of times on the app, I'll suggest to superintendents that they log out and log back in at least once a day so that they can see the most current information, because there is a little bit of a lag sometimes. But to the point of why the sheet's names didn't take the first time you went through, I don't have a good answer for that one.
All right. And
That might be a Susie question.
and the only other question that I have is, so on, not on this one, but say on Orangeburg, South Carolina, that loves that I'm doing there. When I upload, I noticed on y'all's video, when you uploaded the revisions into the current set, it got rid of the original page and replaced it with that revised page. Where in mine, when I upload the revisions in there and I sort them where I want, it leaves all the pages in there. So I've got, instead of having a set with 100 pages, say for instance, I've got a set with 500 pages in it, because it leaves the original page and it also puts the revision page in there. So it doesn't automatically delete my original page. It leaves it in there with the revised plan too.
So Candace, why don't we go back to the Miller's project and go through the short list of plans and then a revision, so we can check about how to make something a revision.
Hang on, when you uploaded your revisions, did it recognize that there was already a sheet in there?
Yes.
No, see, they're named different.
Yeah, they're named differently.
They're named
That's got
differently.
00 dash that.
Well,
This is so it's looking like it's two different sheets.
and that was kind of probably ignorance on my part, as being, when it said that there was already a page named that particular name, I didn't think that it would accept that page. So I went in and had to rename them, because I thought, well, if there's already one that is existing, maybe it's not one, because every time you hit save, it won't let you move forward. It just takes you back to that page and it says some of these pages already exist. So it won't let you move forward without changing the names on.
He's having the problem that I had on the Dardens.
Yep.
If you
So
leave
if
it
you
the same
don't
name,
change the name,
it will not
so
accept
Derek,
it.
what you're saying is if you did not change the name, it would not accept that sheet?
That is correct. That is exactly
Okay.
what it does.
And Lee, what was your issue with the Darden plans? Similar?
It didn't recognize, it recognized that the plans were in there, that they were previously named, everything that it was supposed to do, everything that it did during the training video last week, where it went through and everything went smoothly, but it lights everything up red, or sometimes it's usually just a couple sheets. But with my Darden, it lit up like half the set red of a 150 sheet set of plans. It lit everything up red, saying this is already exists. So what I did is something similar to what he did to get around it. But then once I'm in this page, the current set, like we're looking at, you can go in and edit it and remove from current set the old sheet. You shouldn't have to do that. Susie did go through mine and look at it. She couldn't figure out. Basically, she said I must have done something wrong, but Candace, Kelly, and I all looked at it and we couldn't figure out why it was doing it. So,
and knowing the edit thing now, I can go in there and delete those original pages and just leave the revised ones. But I just want to let you know that when I do try to upload the revised, it does not take the old ones out. It just says you have to, basically it says you have to rename these pages in order for them to go in there.
Okay, so if that happens again, or happens to anybody, I would say, as that is happening, that's a time to call Susie and get her to help you right away. And what I like to do with Susie is open up a Zoom call so she can look at my screen as I'm struggling with something. And then she can tag in and look at your screen and kind of help you through it. Or if she wants to share something on her screen, it's always good to have a Zoom channel open when you're talking to Susie. So if anybody runs into any of those kind of issues, that's how I would suggest to handle it. But yeah, that's I've not heard of that problem, so now I've got a note of it. So now that I know it's happened a couple of times, I'm going to put it on my Susie list.
And that was pretty much all the questions I had. I did like the feature. I didn't know you could do that where you download it from here to put it back in your F drive, and that was something that which I don't click on a lot of things, and now I'm scared I'm gonna screw something up.
You won't. If we haven't done it by now, then you're not going to do it.
Hi, this is Kathy. I did watch the video and I appreciate that. I learned a couple of things off that I didn't know. Particularly doing the plans list off there in Excel. I think that'll be extremely helpful for contracts and for our contract with the owner. So definitely appreciate that a lot. I did have a question about documents. We have a lot of bid documents that we have with the plans. And if we're sending out a plans link, and the documents are in attachment, it won't send those documents, right?
You'll have to do two separate links. One would be to the plans through the drawings feature, and then the other share link would be to the bid attachments. So you could in the same, well, it'd probably have to be two separate emails unless you're cutting and pasting and making it one email. You could do that as well, but it's a couple extra clicks.
You
But
should be able to also go into the drawings, pick whatever you want, go under shared, whatever you want to share, and then do
A link.
a link from there. So you want to share all of this, then you go to share.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it, Candace, is just click those folders that you want to share.
Okay, and just a question about that. Our subs are lazy. I'm sorry, I don't know how yours are, but ours are lazy. And if we don't put all of the documents, like say in the drawings folder for them to see them, they're not going to see them. They're not going to see the supplemental notes. They're not going to see the pre-bid meeting notes. They're not going to see any of that.
Right. We'll put them in the shared file and send it, because I usually send my plans and my specifications, the spec book, all in the shared thing. But then when the sub goes in there, they'll only click on the drawings and look at it, and then they'll come and say, well, I never got the spec book. And I'm like, well, it was in there. It's just a separate. You have to click on the one below where it says plans and the other one says specifications. You got to go in there and click on the specifications and look at the spec book too. But they don't do them extra steps to go through all of those links that are in one folder. They just click on plans or drawings and go with it.
They'll learn. Our guys have learned over the past year where to go. It's just a learning curve for everybody.
Well, the problem with us is that we don't work with just the same people, Candace. We work with people across the country. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how we are too. So it's the project manager should see on the bid if they've noted specs and things like that. And if they didn't, a lot of times I know Tony, Wendy, Jill, they'll reach out and say, hey, did you look at this? Did you look at this? Did you look at this? It was on your link. Here's another link. And then they'll get a revised bid.
Yeah, I'm constantly doing that also. That's one of the things that constantly sending out messages. Did you check this? Did you see that? Sending
Right.
supplemental bid notes and all that stuff again.
Yeah, there's a few ways you could do that. The drawings and then separate links to the supplemental bid instructions, spec books, that kind of thing. you can, as long as it's a PDF document, you can shove it in the drawings, but I would caution about putting too much stuff other than the plans into the drawings feature. Because if the superintendent, eventually when this job becomes a project, the superintendent is the one who is going to rely on looking at the current set of plans after the contract's written and the permit set's issued, any clarifications or drawing addendums. The goal is for the superintendent and everybody on the project team to be able to go to the current set and know that that is the most current information that everybody's going to be building the job by. And then supplemental documents and the attachments leading up to the contract. I think that's to Kathy, to your point. Yeah, there's people are lazy. They're definitely not going to look at it all. And we send a lot of stuff a second and third time a lot, and I'm not sure there's a good answer to that, other than making sure they see it and acknowledge it.
I guess when we send out the original bid invite, we could put in that where it, you can generate an email with it that says, hey, you've been invited to bid this project. And then we can put in there, hey, please make sure that you look at not only the drawings attachment, but the attachments link to see further information, like kind of break it down for them and tell them, hey, make sure you're looking at everything, not just the plans.
Yeah, Derek, that's a really good point. And just, we're working towards a global venture ITB. It will be the same invitation to bid that every sub that we invite gets, and it will contain those instructions like you're talking about. It's also going to contain some of our required safety information, which is going to be the Exhibit S, which a lot of you have been using in your contracts. We're going to come up with a standardized version of that we can use company-wide. That'll be attached in the invitation to bid. So there's an opportunity for us to get a global ITB going that hits all the things. We get instructions to bidders from all of our clients. And so in turn, I think it'd benefit us if we had the same look to every single sub, no matter which branch office that they're bidding the job to. So that's definitely on our list of things we're working on with Pantera.
Even if we made something like to go with it, like a checklist of the different item, and say, send this checklist back with your bid saying that you've received all that and you've seen all of this, and make a mark that they've seen everything that you've included.
Yeah, it's like an acknowledgement of documents in the bid. All right, I'm going to add that to that ITB Global project. Was there anybody else that needed to or feels like they would benefit from walking through how to set up a project and post drawings and rename them? Everybody's
I think it
comfortable
would
with
be a
that?
good idea to do that, Tony. I know some people didn't get the opportunity to watch the video, and it wouldn't hurt me to
Okay.
do it again.
So Candace, let's go back to, yeah, there you go. And then maybe just dump all the drawings and let's do that over again.
How can I go in and delete all these? I'm not used to deleting plans.
You can go to manage versions to delete them.
Is it going to take all the, are all those gone?
I'm about to find out. And we'll just put a random date. I don't think it did.
Yeah, there's no drawings in there now. Refresh your screen. Yeah, there you go. All right, so is that a set that has multiple pages? That's like a rolly wheel set?
Yes,
Looks like it is. Okay, so that's an important point. Some of the plans we get is separate sheets, and some are one file, multiple sheets. And so the upload, you can drag and drop all of them singular sheets or single pages, or one file with multiple pages. So go ahead. That's all I wanted to mention there.
sometimes this can take a minute, sometimes it can take 5.
How many pages are in that Connor set that you're working with, Candace?
9.
9. Okay, perfect. So Derek, is this where you named all of your sheets, just like what Candace is doing now on that one you were struggling with?
That is correct.
Okay. So the add to current set button is important, depending on the sheet. So that's checked green on all of these, this is the first upload. So that's obviously going to become the current set because it's version number 1. So just checking the title or checking the sheet number and then the correct title, because this naming process right here, when you go back through downloading the plans to the Excel file that Kathy was talking about, the naming of these sheets is important because they'll all come back through as that name when you download them for your enumeration of documents.
Once you
All right,
key it
so
all
that's,
in, it's all
that's
there.
the sort feature right there. So you can auto sort, you can move sheets up and down, arrange them however you want to in this feature right here. And then once you're satisfied with it, then you're on to publish.
So when you get revised plans, upload drawings,
Now go back, well, that, what was that? There's existing set. Okay, all right. That's where all your versions are gonna show.
Yeah, so if you go out like I just did, if you go out and you have to go back in, you can click existing version and click revised number 1 or wherever you were.
I'm just trying to hit all the places where you could click on any of the screens just to see or show what the options or choices are.
And see, this is where I get where it says found one other version.
Okay,
If you leave it the same and hit finalize, it'll pull the screen right back up and it'll make you rename them, or it will not let you go any further.
Now, this is what you're supposed to see. What I think you saw was where it lights it in red. It lights the whole sheet name and everything in red. And then it won't let you go. It won't let you do a thing.
Does it
there are
recognize the
some-
date, the issue date being different for the revisions? Is that how it distinguishes between the two?
The different versions are described by date, or you could describe them as bid set or permit set or construction set, and they could all have their own individual dates as well.
Right, but I'm asking where it says they're found in one other version. Does that mean that that's found that one other version with a different date?
Yes, the blue there says found in the current set. So that was one of the first, that sheet was part of the first original upload. This E101 is a revision.
Right.
a revised sheet, and that's why it's showing you two different.
Okay. That's what I thought. And one thing that I've seen looking at a couple of jobs, so uploading drawings into the drawings tab, we should never name a new set as current set.
Mm-mm.
But that's been done a lot in the past. But Pantera takes care of that automatically. So do not name
right.
any revision as current set.
That's right.
Okay, and once you get them where you want them. And then you have your current full set.
Hey, Ken, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Go into upload drawings like you're gonna do revision 2 with today's date. We're just making this one up.
Okay.
And grab just one of the sheets that you just put in there. Or you can grab all 9, it doesn't matter. I mean, just one duplicate sheet, or no, 2 duplicate sheets.
From the original set, Lee, from the first upload.
What I was going to try to do is have her name 2 sheets the exact same thing.
Oh, okay. See if we could recreate what
A601,
happened.
A601.
Yeah.
And when you try to move past it, it's going to, the program should name it correctly, but when you try to move past it is when it's going to light it up red, which is what Derek had seen.
I've just uploaded the same plans. So what do you
Okay.
want me to do?
So like if you go down to the A601
Okay.
and name that G000 cover sheet. So name it just like it would be the one right above it. And I guess everything, scroll down and everything else is named, it's fine, and hit finalize. And
Yeah,
you see it
some
gives you the
drawings have
message in
different
red.
names.
And if you scroll up, you'll see what we mean by lighting it in red. And it's just telling you
Yes, that's exactly what it does.
something's wrong. Sometimes you'll get an architect that accidentally labels A401 twice, and he means to do A401 and A402 or something like that. But I just wanted to be able to show people that's what Derek was seeing. If I'm not mistaken, that's what Derek was seeing. And it will not let you go further. It won't let you do a thing until you fix
That
it.
is correct.
So now if Candace were to, and the problem is if you were actually looking at a sheet that is labeled correctly and you have no idea how to fix it, you're kind of stuck. Because
That's
the problem could be that either 2 sheets that you're of the 5 that you're, or sorry, the 10 that you're uploading are the same, like Candace just tried to force it to show, or it's telling you 2 sheets are labeled the same and you can't have that just within the set in general. So yeah, I just wanted to be able to show what the red looks like.
Hey Candace, did you just do a drop down on that A601? Is there an option? Did you right click that and find that?
No, once you establish your original, like your bid set,
right,
and when you have revised plans and you go in and you start typing. So when I type in A, those are all the A sheets that are already in there.
okay.
So you can just pick what it is and then tab, and then it'll bring the name up down there.
Okay.
It kind of populates a database of names so that you kind of have some shortcut opportunities.
Hey, Candace.
Yeah.
So now, just so everybody can see, now that you have the A601 and it says new, it's not recognizing that you had that sheet already. So sometimes you have to click the arrow over, one of the little arrow keys over, so it recognizes that you had that sheet already in there. Otherwise, it will not replace the old one.
So are you saying your arrow left or right, Kelly, on that particular when you're in that.
So your
box.
arrow, yeah, your arrow, right. So now since she hit the arrow, it recognizes that sheet was in another version.
Yeah, so that, and I'm going to stress again, when you get to these kind of hang up spots, to refresh your screen, because I've found that has gotten me out of a lot of really weird situations where I'm like, I know I did that, or I have trouble going to the next step. So if you're constantly doing your control F5, or you're doing your refresh on your browser, that can kind of get you past some of these hangups. So try that.
Not when it
first.
comes to naming though, because
Well,
it'll
yeah, I'm
kick
saying
you out.
the left and right arrow key is a good trick. I didn't know that one, Kelly, so that's good.
I guess I'm not when you say left and right arrow key, what are you talking about there?
There are arrow keys on your keyboard.
Yeah, arrow
Right.
keys on your keyboard.
Right, but what are you? I mean, what did that have to
So-
do with her changing the name of it there?
So when it said A601, it didn't say that it was found in another version. It still said new. So sometimes it does not catch it. And if you know that sheet was already in there, when you do the A601, you have to do the right arrow key and it'll pop up and say, hey, we found this in the old version. So it'll be replaced and not just adding that sheet in there.
Okay.
So that's a bug. So we can maybe take a clip from this video, send it to Pantera.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Carl. What's the time, Earl, on the video? Can we make a bookmark?
Yeah. It doesn't really tell me any of that while it's running.
Okay, well, that's fine. We can sort back through it and find that.
Should be right about 35 minutes in.
Okay.
Do you guys mind to show that option again, about the drop down with selecting the list, the plans list?
Oh, let's see here.
That one there?
Oh, like you're gonna put it in with the bid?
Well, yeah, that you want, the download, where you download the plans list in Excel.
Okay. So you just go here to the orange button, download, drawing list export. And then it'll pop up. And then you have your original bid set, your revision 1, and then your current set. And then you added your revision 2. So then you can go in and change whatever you need to do to add, because you pretty much really need, depending on the revisions you had during your bid, the current set.
So that's going to show every single page, every single revision.
Yes.
But what we do typically is if we have a bid set with multiple revisions, we'll create our plans list for our bid. We'll just eliminate everything but the current set and just put that as part of our bid note. This is the set of plans and the revision dates that we are using to price the job. And then all the other sheets are just, all those rows just get eliminated. Is that the way you do it, Candace?
Yeah, we just go in, delete that out, delete that out. And then,
So that's your current set. That's your bid set right there, so to speak.
Yep.
Or it could be the current contract set or whatever the purpose is. Any questions about that?
I see that F201 didn't get a title.
I
on it.
didn't, it threw me off when we wanted a second revision, so I didn't tab all the way through.
I got you.
Are you blaming me?
I am.
So right
So-
now, I think that when just say Love sends us a set of plans or an invitation to bid, we upload the plans to send to the subs and everything. We're actually putting it in the attachment tab when really we should be putting it in the drawings tab.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So go to the attachments, Candace, and Derek, what you'll see is when you populate the drawings in the drawings function, it will put the plans into the attachments and link and label them and set up folders automatically. So by doing it in the drawings, you get a copy of it in the attachments as well. And that's what the program does, that automatically.
When we first started using Pantera, we used attachments. And then we got transferred to move over into drawings. So we understand why do we need to do it this way, but there is a reason for it.
All right. So on that attachments where you're at now, up there where it says drawings, of course, you got your current set, Connor's bid set, revision 1, revision 2.
Mhm.
But in your shared where it has the plans there, is all of that condensed into that? Or when you send this to the subs, when they open up the drawings, are they seeing all of that, or are they just, because if I was a sub and I open this up, I think, well, if that's the current set, that's the one I need to go off of, and I wouldn't click on anything below the current set.
Tony,
So-
that's one thing we were talking about the other day that I think it's could be confusing for subs, and I don't see why we need that plans folder under shared.
Yeah, that's one of the folder structures that we set up as a blank job.
Right.
And so, yeah, you're right. That plans folder could be eliminated or repurposed. I don't know any reason why to have it there.
I think we just had it there because that's what we originally used from the get-go. Before
Yeah,
we
that's
started
just-
using the drawings
That's
feature.
just carryover.
Derek, to your question earlier, if you look there to over by the date, you'll see that there's no size listed. So that means that folder's empty. So
Right,
you
well,
can
I'm
look at
talking-
any folder, know that it's empty.
Right. I'm actually talking about up top in the drawings. If the sub sees that link to drawing, they click on it and it drops down. It says current set, Connor's bid set, revision 1, revision 2. Do they just need everything below the current set, like Connor's bid set, revision 1 and revision 2? It should be all in that current set, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
So why would we need the 3 tabs under that, the Connor's bid set, revised 1 and revision 2, when it's all in that current set to begin with? That's what I'm saying. When they
Because
open it up, they're seeing
It
4
mimics
different folders.
this.
Okay.
It mimics this up here.
Okay.
It's just a copy of it, basically.
And Derek, if you're sending the link, you can send the link just to the current set. Now, if the sub navigates there on their own and clicks on it, you're right, they're going to see all of them. But we just need to get in the habit of always directing them to the current set.
Candace, can you go through and give an example of what Chris just mentioned on the share function? So I do this all the time. A sub needs a set of plans. I'll go to and share. And then you get to choose what version they get. And I always click the current set.
Okay.
And then go to, click share. And then there's an option of preventing the expiration of the link, which is very important. Because once you upload a revision to this project, that link that was sent to them previously will no longer be valid. So if you're going to want them to have access to the current set constantly, you got to make sure you click prevent expiration on the link.
You can send an email from here if you're just sending it to one person. Or if you need to, you can, create a new email and
There was a copy function back there on that to the right of that you could click and that copies that link. If you could show them that, Candace.
right there.
Yeah, right there. Copy of the clipboard. Yeah, perfect.
And then you can paste that directly into the email.
Okay.
And you can also say, someone says, hey, I just need this one sheet. Instead of clicking current set, you can click the down arrow, and this is your current full set. So you can click, you know, interior elevations and just send that one sheet.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, that's good to know. I didn't know that either. Thank you.
And one other thing, back to the attachments, I know they were pointing out that to the right-hand side, if it doesn't show any size, can you open up the shared? Or, yeah. If it doesn't have a size next to it, there's nothing in the folder. When subs get the folder for a bid invite, they only see a folder that has something in it. So when subs would get the invite, they would not see the bid submittal, the daily, or sorry, that's private. Yeah, will you click open the Venture Pantera High Point folder under shared? No, you're right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
So where subs would normally be able to see plan specs, addenda, if there were only something in documents, we had a geotech report or whatever it was, they would only see that one folder. They wouldn't see the plans folder, the specs folder, the addenda, or the clarifications. They're only going to be able to see folders that have something in them. So you're not going to have to rely on them to be able to notice if something has something in it or not. If it's there, it has something in it.
So going forward, we need to stop putting plans and stuff in that shared deal. We need to keep it in the drawings up there. That way it eliminates the confusion to the subs, because they'll click on the drawings, they'll see stuff in there, but they'll also click on that shared, they'll go to plans, and they'll also see stuff in there. So I think we need to keep them all in one spot up there in the drawings.
But
And that just mimics everything in this drawings right here.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So when we get our invitations to bid from Loves or whoever, we need to start downloading it straight into the drawings thing, not in the attachments.
That's correct.
But then also the specs need to go into the spec folder. You
Yes,
don't
sir.
want to put them into the drawings tab?
No,
They
you
need
don't
to go-
want your specifications in the drawings tab. They
Okay.
need to be in the bid folder for specs.
So when you send your, you know, do we have any people in here? Let's add somebody. So when we go in and we do invitation to bid, you can upload stuff right here
Right.
if you want to. You don't have to, but you can also drop things here as well. I don't know if any of the other two girls here in this office do that or not.
I've never seen the private folder attachments option. Huh,
I don't use it.
why would you want
Yeah.
that?
So
I've
open up
used
the
it a couple
training,
times
open
for
up that
Wendy.
training video folder there, Candace. Can you drag a file from within the project up into the upload?
Hang on.
I mean, right from Pantera, right where you were, that video. Can you drag that video file into the upload box?
No.
Okay.
No, because it's already in there.
Oh, okay.
So that private folder attachment, if we can put, maybe that would be the place to put any kind of like safety requirements for the subs on a always basis.
I don't know about that.
Brad, we could create a separate folder just for the safety information needs to go with the bid.
Yeah.
That's, and just click it right there whenever you send it out the bid invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we want to eliminate that folder that says plans on it in shared and just name it safety folder.
Yep, that's a good repurpose.
Well, I think the private folder attachments comes from the private and not the shared. But if we could always have a safety folder in there with our requirements, that would make it so it's easy for the subs to get to.
Yeah, it just needs to be simply called safety requirements or venture safety requirements.
Yes. And we could actually put our safety manual in there and the Exhibit S and that other form. Sorry to jump in.
The safety manager.
This is
showed-
not a safety meeting.
Oh, yes, it is.
And is now.
Oh, God, get me off this thing. Okay.
All right, were there any other questions related to the drawings function specifically?
And if any of you get hiccuped, you can call our office and talk to Kelly, Lee, or myself. That's not a problem.
I just want to clarify one more time, just to make sure I understand, or just to confirm. So there's no gray area here for me. Drawings are going to go into drawings, and any other attachments are going into attachments. And when we send an invitation to bid, we need to send well, I guess when we send an invitation to bid, will it automatically send drawings and attachments, or do we have to do a link?
It should all be contained in the invitation to bid.
Okay, thank you.
So Kathy, if you want to see what it looks like from a sub, you know, one of the girls could send you an invitation to bid from the next job that we upload, so you can kind of see what it looks like. That'd probably be that might be a good thing for all of us to see.
I don't even know if we have any attachments in here. We don't.
Nope.
Wow.
Plans.
Okay.
You could find a McDonald's. They usually have an asbestos and a spec book. And
What's your last McDonald's?
you could use maybe Walkertown.
Oh, I just see right there. Okay.
So are y'all putting plans then in the shared folder as well, or is that an older job that?
So in the shared, I put the asbestos report and the spec. If they're in the plans, that might have been one that they just asked me to put that in there. Or sometimes if they give me an invitation to bid at 4:45 before I leave, I put it in the plans, so at least they can get it sent out before I get it in the drawings.
Who would do that?
Would it maybe be a safe? Never mind.
Yeah.
So
Credits Thursday.
So in general, if you wanted to, like you said, that's a good example. If you get a invitation to bid at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and you're wanting to get it out real quick to your subs, so you upload it in the shared under plans versus having to go in and go through the steps where you upload in the drawings and name them and label them and do all that stuff. You download them in the shared file under plans and to where you could get them out quicker.
Yeah, so if a project manager says, hey, I need to get these plans out, here's the invitation to bid, put it on Pantera so I can get it out tonight, and I have 15 minutes, I just go ahead and upload it to the shared folder under plans so they can get it out and I can go put it in drawings in the morning.
Now, just a question on that. So later on, you go back in, you put it in the drawings tab. Once you, like the next day, you'll come in, put in the drawings tab. Could you go back and delete what you put in that plans folder down there in the shared to where?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then it is only in the drawings now. Okay.
Yeah. So you can just, in the plans under bid set, you can just select that one and right click on it and hit delete and it'll go away. So, did she want, like an invitation to bid so she could see everything?
Oh, that's contacts. Oh, no, I don't want to go there.
No, I'm good. I just needed to know, if it actually took everything. When you just say invitation to bid, you're not downloading anything over there or dropping it in. It just will show the drawings and the attachments.
Anything in drawings and anything in shared.
Okay. And if I understand correctly, everything in private is private, and that's the only area where everything is private. Is that correct?
That's right.
I mean, looking at the screen there, the gray area, like photo gallery and RFIs and submittals, is all that private or is that public?
I think you only get to see the things, well, each contact has permissions, and vendors who are our bidders are set up with limited permissions to see things. So go ahead and send Kathy an invitation to bid, just to.
Big down there. Why would safety be considered in the private folder?
Well, that's
think
our
it should.
safety folder, like internally right now, but
Okay.
when we do an
Probably need to add her
ITB,
for users.
part of the bid package will include venture safety requirements, and that will be a public folder in the invitation to bid documents.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have to go through all that.
Of course, you guys are not going to be able to see what I get. You know that, right?
No,
I was about to say, would it be easier for somebody to send Candace an invitation to bid?
Kelly or Lee, can y'all send me one real quick?
Somebody's all over my screen, but I'll try.
So once all of the drawings start to get uploaded on a consistent basis, the next thing that we try and do is to get our superintendents to start looking at the plans on their phones or iPads through the app, which is helpful. But if they don't know how to navigate to it, it's a good opportunity to kind of help them see where the project information is, because some of our superintendents are well versed and can get to the plans no problem on their phones or iPads through the app. Some of them can get to them from the web-based version, but as long as it's all there and they know it's there and they know it's current, it's easy to get to it on the job site, look at the detail or specific sheet, answer a question, whatever.
And we've noted that it's much faster going through Pantera to look at the drawings through drawings than it is to try to go through Citrix to look at them.
Yes. And you can't really navigate the drawings if you're trying to get to them through the attachments part of Pantera either, because it'll make you download the sheet before you can look at it instead of view it in the drawings feature kind of live.
That would help the subs too, as far as if we put in the attachments folder, like you said. Now they're having to download each individual page to look at it, versus if we had it in that drawings tab, they could just pull it up and it'd be all right there.
Yep, that's exactly right. And one of the next things we're going to start to talk about related to setting up a job is utilizing the project contacts tab for all the contacts within a project. There's a little bit of a trick to get it done. You're going to add contacts to a job through this screen right here. And if you have a new contact, well, in other words, well, if you start your contact list from this tab where any of the bidders that you select or award the job, you can pick and choose them from this menu. to add them to the job as an awarded. We have awarded them the contract. But you're gonna have to do a lot of fill-in, like material suppliers might not be in here, or random bids that you get from outside Pantera. This is the screen that you add a project participant, for lack of a better word. And then you've got to assign them as awarded. And then that starts to build your sub and material supplier database as you start the project. And then all of that information, those contacts, are available to the superintendent in the Pantera app.
Kelly, I know you said you sent it, but I don't have it. It comes to our email, right?
Should.
I sent you one too.
I had nothing.
So, you know, they have to queue, so there's no telling how long it takes to.
Yeah. I'm not used to being on this end of it.
Yeah, it's got to chew through their system. But you could send yourself or have someone send you a bid invitation on a test project. If anybody wants to set up a test project, by all means, you can set one up and kind of get somebody else in the office. Hey, send me an RFI or send me a bid invitation, so you could kind of see what it looks like as if you were a sub.
Yeah, I still got nothing.
You guys were talking about using the contacts list. Some of us here have been doing that already. And that's really great feature to be able to filter through there and just have the awarded contractors and subcontractors, the subcontractors and suppliers. And just be able to pick the email up and send them a message, and just pop, it's gone, you know, so that's really nice.
You can also create or export that contact list so that someone doesn't have to manually type it up like we've been doing. So that saves a lot of labor hours.
This
That's
also
correct.
becomes your subcontractor list and a closing package for your client.
Correct. It's a little different format than we're used to seeing, but it's got all the same info on there.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just filter it by the numerically, like we're used to seeing it, and print it from there.
And you can, Candace, go and sort the groups column. So, and then if you'll go on a contact and right click on Kyle Gregory and manage trades. So that is where you choose what sub or supplier, what their responsibility is from our cost codes. And then if you've got everybody filled out with their trade, then go ahead and close that, Candace, and then sort the group column again. So yeah, right, you can see right there, it's in reverse order, but go to American Cedar and right click on manage trades. And then click lumber package. And then save that. Go to it again. Close it and do it again. Now hit save. So there's an example of Dave was not, that particular supplier wasn't added to the project in the messaging tab. He was added to the project in this project contacts list here. So the right place to add a contact to a project is in the messaging section. So just a heads up there. And that way that manage trade function works. And then you can sort your subs and suppliers by the cost code.
Okay, so here's our invitation to bid. I guess just click here to accept.
So yeah,
I don't know if they can see all this.
Yeah, since you're a user, you're seeing all that. I don't think as a sub. So if you're going to test it, you could do like set it up through an outside email, like if you had a different, like a Gmail account, and then set yourself up as a sub, and then you can see what, since Candace is a user, she's getting to see everything.
So another question, just when we get that that email that generates from help desk that says invitation to bid, like subs with high invitations to bid. Just say, for instance, you've got a sub that does not only site work, but he does site utilities and does plumbing and whatever else he may do. Is his name going to show up under each one of those trades, or does it just put him under the trade, the specific trade you mark him as?
So there's one contact that has multiple trades. So if you send him a set of plans and you're choosing all the trades associated with that invitation to bid, he'll only get one invitation to bid. Is that what your question is?
Yes, I just didn't want him to get like 10 invitations to bid on one job just because you list him out as different trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll call and say, what do you want me to bid? I do this, 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 and this. And I always say, give it all to me.
Yeah.
Just break it down.
All right, well, that puts us at our hour, a little more. Is there any other questions? Any suggestions? Good job, Candace. Thank you.
In the chat, Marissa said you can also sign in with the access key to see what the subcontractor sees. So just throwing that out there.
Access key. Okay, let's talk. Okay, access plans here. Okay, click that.
My computer blows up. I've got a,
Well,
I'm in
you're
the system
still
already.
Go back. You got to click on the link to the website. It says go to the website and enter the access key. So back to that email.
Yeah.
See down there, it says go to Venture Construction Plan and enter that key there.
I think you'd have to log out of your account, and then on the login page, there's a spot for the access key.
Yeah, or use a different browser.
Yeah.
I never log out of this thing.
So are you in Edge? You can
Ever.
Chrome.
It's gonna throw me in.
okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's basically all the stuff that the subs are set up to see or deal with.